Good afternoon. So I'm the only one who's allowed to take off the mask for a couple of minutes. You all need to be wearing your masks. We will also have to write down all your personal data in order to be able to track you down in case of an infection. So welcome. I would like to welcome you to the European Year of Rail. I'd like to welcome our Vice Prime Minister, François Bauch. She's also the Minister for Mobility. Then I would like to welcome Member of Parliament and the members of the Council of the CFL and representatives of the trade unions. Dear friends, you will hear a few words from Mr. Schröder. He will be talking to you as well as representative of the European Parliament. Mr. Koppelberg will also take the floor as representative of the European Commission. So I wish you all very welcome. This is the official start of the European Year of Rail. So a few words about our agenda. I will say a few words, and then Mr. Schröder and Mr. Koppelberg will take the floor. Mr. François Bauch will then give a number of explanations regarding this historic investment in Luxembourg, but he will not only be talking about Luxembourg, but also about international initiatives. I will then take the relay and give a few more details regarding the work we want to do here in Luxembourg in the coming years. We will then be presenting the campaign, the new campaign of the CFL. We want to show you the video that we have prepared, and then we will end the conference with a virtual guided tour of the train station in Luxembourg. Laurent Puret is responsible for all the work that is going on at the train station, and we will have a virtual guided tour starting at Platform 5, one of the new platforms that is being built. I would like to say a few words about the CFL. It's a very special group, if you want, in particular for these sirs sitting in the first rows. You need to know that 75% of our revenue is international. We have 12 companies in 6 countries, so it's a little European group, and the connection link is in Bettembourg. So we are very present in Europe. The offer that we provide is international, and in many ways it's much more international than in other countries. It is really a field of expertise of ours, if I may say. I also would like to point out that the rail in Luxembourg, the railway system, are very attractive. This is an argument that I will prove with numbers later on. But one of the facts that speaks in favor of it is the enormous increase of passengers in the last years and decades. Whenever we provided change and modernized the system, it was very well perceived and accepted by the population, be it new train lines or, for instance, the funicular system in Kirchberg. You must remember that rail is the greenest mode of transport there is. We exclusively use green electricity in Luxembourg. Electric mobility is a very important concept here in Luxembourg. And all the different modes of transport try to implement it, but rail is really and has been a pioneer in this regard. So obviously, if you want to invest into sustainable mobility, one must invest in the rail system. And Luxembourg is a pioneer. We have made many huge investments in the last years already, but we have many more important stages ahead of us. Now, for instance, we're renovating the train station here in Luxembourg. We will be talking about that later. It's also the focus of today's press conference. You should also understand that this increase in capacities that we are building towards are necessary. It's necessary in order to be able to cover the demands of the last years and decades. It's very important to us as operators, but also for other operators. And at the very end, I would like to say one last thing. I would like to say that building or construction work and using the train at the same time is not possible, unfortunately. We can't do construction work and provide train services at the same time. We understand that this is a bother for our customers, and for this reason, we have launched a campaign under the name We Are Building the Mobility of Tomorrow. This is a campaign aiming at our clients. So this is the last thing I would like to say, and I would like to give the floor to Mr. Schröder.
Die kannst du austun, ne?
You can take off your mask.
Herr Wengler, Herr Minister.
Mr. Wengler, Mr. Minister, ladies and gentlemen. Since 1983, the European Union gives itself the possibility to set the focus on a certain matter, a certain cause. And this year, it would be the European Year of Rail. Over 600 of the 705 members of European Parliament agreed to setting the focus this year on the railway system, as it is a very important topic in order to foster green energy. It is an aim that we would like to reach by 2050. 2013, a deal had been presented in front of the Parliament and it was accepted in 2016. Jean Spach had already multiple times pointed out the situation in Luxembourg. And now, today, Metz, one of the Luxembourgish members of European Parliament, is part of the Mobility Commission. 2020 is going to be a very difficult year for the railway system in Europe. 2021, so the European Year of Rail, gives us the possibility to prepare the future. And this is also something that I can see reflected in the motto of your campaign. I represent an institution that is located at Kirchberg. And we have a very good connection to Strasbourg, actually. Mr. Minister, I would wish that your initiative, namely to accelerate access to Brussels, would be implemented in a very fast and successful way. It would be a success for Luxembourg and for Europe. It would be very interesting to simply connect the three European capitals, namely Strasbourg, Brussels, and Luxembourg. So I hope that we will all have a very interesting and fun year on the rails here in Luxembourg and in Europe.
Ja, goedemiddag.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vice Prime Minister, Minister for Mobility, Mr. Bausch, Mr. Wengler, Mr. Schröder, ladies and gentlemen, members of Parliament. You need to know our Minister of Mobility has worked for the CFL, and as the representative of this institution, I have three very simple messages for you. First of all, we have to all work together in order to mitigate climate change as quickly as possible. That way, we will spare our children and grandchildren of many problems. So, the European Commission wants to do this through the European Green Deal. This would be my first message to you, so that we will use this European Green Deal in order to mitigate the climate change. The other thing I would like to say is that 25% of greenhouse gases comes from mobility. However, out of these 25%, rail only provides less than 1% of the greenhouse gases. So the rail is very climate friendly, and what must not be forgotten either, it is a very safe means of transport. So for this reason, the European Union has declared 2021 to be the European Year of Rail. We want to motivate more people to use the train, and we want more goods to be transported through the rail system. The third and last message I would like to give across is the following. The European Year of Rail should motivate more people to use the train in the upcoming year. Thank you.
Schönen guten Mittag an.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. It's very interesting that we could organize this event in collaboration with the CFL. Thank you very much to the European Commission. Thank you that you dedicated this year to the rail, that you have claimed it the Year of Rail. If you have a look at my slides, you will understand why this is so important. This year is not only the Year of Rail, but at the end of the year, the COP26 has been postponed and will take place in Glasgow. And mobility and transport will be the main topic at this COP. It's very important because if we want to take control over climate change and mitigate it, then we will have to deal with these topics. You know, this is not the same as the corona crisis. We will not have vaccination that will magically make the problem disappear. No, we have to face the problem and we have to find solutions for it. Now we have to preventively take action in order to mitigate the effects of climate change. Mobility is the most important field in this regard. And if we don't change our way of transportation, we will not be able to reach our goals. Of course, the rail plays a central role. The rail is really the basis for this new multimodal strategy. This new strategy wants to implement all the users of mobility, be it the walkers, the cyclists, buses, and the rail is really the backbone of all of it. If you have a look at how people live in Europe, you will see the need for investing into the railway system. You need to know, I don't agree with the rhetoric of some people claiming that flights within Europe should be forbidden. It doesn't make sense to do that. The way we should go is to invest into an infrastructure that allows people to use it in an efficient way and to accept it. Here you see how much is invested in Luxembourg into the railway system. And it is very important when we talk about investments to have a global view on investments. We have started investing into the railway system in 2013, and it's been going up ever since. We started at the beginning simply by enlarging the existing structures. And if you want, we managed to build 2 additional train stations here in Luxembourg, in Howald and in Pfaffenthal. Here you see Luxembourg in comparison to other European countries. This statistic is obviously based on facts, based on investments that we have made. And this graph represents the investments we have done in 2019 only. So if you compare it to other European countries, you see that Luxembourg has invested 448 euros per inhabitant in 2019. We have actually managed to overtake Switzerland. Now let's have a look at France. 29 euros, Spain 29 euros, France 42, Germany 76. Of course, you can't make a one-to-one comparison between the countries if you take into account the size of these countries, but nevertheless, you see that most European countries are lagging behind with these investments, which are, however, so very important. You also need to understand that investments are not done very easily. These sums are so very important. They have to stem from public investments. You need to understand that unless the state takes an active role in these investments, these changes in works and modernizations in the railway system would not be possible. But this investment is very needed, and I really hope that we will invest and improve the system even more. In particular, I really hope that the connection between Luxembourg and Brussels will be modernized. We finally have to do that. We have to use part of that money in order to provide a better service between Luxembourg and Brussels. And I also hope that this investment will be done soon and implemented quickly. Here you see the result of these investments. People tend to say that, yes, sure, it's nice if we invest, but people don't use the service. But that is not true. Let's see actually how many people use the railway system. This graph shows it. It shows just what increase has happened in the last 2 decades. The railway system is used by very many people. 2019, we had a very high number, the highest in history. We also need to, however, point out that we can't compare 2020 with the rest of the development prior to 2020 because we told people to stay home, of course. So it's a very peculiar year, and for this reason we have taken the numbers of 2019. But as soon as Corona will come to an end, the numbers will peak again. Our railway system is built in a star shape. We also have a railway system that crosses borders. We have to take cross-country workers into account as the number of cross-country workers constantly increases. In future, we have to invest further in these cross-border railway services for the coming generations. We have to make the system more attractive so that people use it.
So we need to have a large return on investment. An investment in rail can only be looked at, isn't just a microeconomic matter, but also macroeconomic. What does that bring to the economy as a whole? So the mobility of tomorrow, of course, we've got, it's going to be modern, it's going to be multimodal. We have to propose a way of getting from A to B, but there needs to be internet, for example. There needs to be good service in the train stations, around the train stations. We have to make sure that the capacity is sufficient. For the time being, we're investing in all of these different areas, but we have a program that goes above and beyond that, in fact, up until 2025 and even up to 2035. So there's the 110 million that we've invested and that we continue to invest above and beyond our borders. Before the last elections, we took the decision 60 tracks. That was voted just before the break. So what have we actually done? Well, until Thionville, we're going to be improving the line with a new line. There's going to be a new line towards Bettemberg, and that should have opened in 2019. We bought the multiple unit trains, but because not everything had worked on both sides. On the there was some delays, but we hope that that will get going, and we hope that that will be able to happen soon. So that's that in terms of the West. We've also invested towards Germany, but we've also invested towards Belgium. Luxembourg, Brussels, I've already spoken about that, actually. Now we need to do something. Words are not enough. We actually need to do something. So to have this axis, Luxembourg, Brussels, and Strasbourg. Why have we done it here? Well, I'll give the floor to the Director General of CFL. Luxembourg is one of the triangulation points. It's a historic point, really, because everything has been done here in a star configuration, not because we didn't have enough track. I mean, we decided to have a financing law. We're in the last phases of that, and that will allow us to ensure that we have a network that is far more modern and that we can improve on. And Mr. Wengler is going to explain all of that to you. Yes, thank you very much, Minister. Very briefly, lots of things have already been said. We've heard about the station of Luxembourg. It's a keystone in our network. An extension has already been done. And it's almost like open heart surgery, really, because the traffic does continue and the work site's underway at the same time. So it's really a huge challenge for the railways. But we think it's very important to do that at the same time, Mr. Broom will be able to tell us a bit more detail on that later. But already I would say that there are now two platforms. We've got 6 major lines. We've got additional platforms being added. And we've looked at the whole design again. We can see some elements here, but there have been a lot of changes in terms of the infrastructure, the reorganization, both north and south, the connection with Hoval 2, our workshops, etc. So there's a whole series of projects surrounding the design and the actual concept of this, and this is absolutely essential. It's not easy to go from an old work site to make sure that we can maintain the trains. There do have to be some closures. There's a train replacement service and various other measures that have already been provided for. Later on, you'll be able to hear some more detail on that with Mr. Buelet later on. Now, just moving through the slides, says the speaker. So just a few projects to point out here. These are important phases in terms of extending the whole network. The largest bottleneck rather, is between Luxembourg and Bettemberg. And the capacities there will be doubled. It's a 7-kilometer section. You can see on the slide that there's a bridge with Bettemberg, and you can see that a lot of the work is already at rather an advanced stage. It's a new concept, really, and the different lines will be served independently from each other. So this line, which is coming from France, will not cross the line coming from Esch to Luxembourg City, neither in Bettemberg nor Hovald. So these lines will have their very own platforms for them. So it will be a huge jump, quantum leap to improve the quality of these lines. That's the most important message, really, that I wanted to tell you about. After that, if we go from the south to the north now, Ettelbruck, City of the North, Diekirch. I think this is a project that is very dear to our hearts and is very well known for Nordstadt. It's an opportunity, a huge opportunity, really, to put in place a multimodal platform there as well. Here on the photo, you can see the car park. It's a hub, really, and there's going to be a bus station as well, a modern building for passengers. Capacity will be increased, because we're not just talking about increasing capacity in Luxembourg City, but we also have to ensure that this takes place in other stations across the country as well, with additional platforms and tracks. For all of these projects, we'll take into consideration people that are struggling with reduced mobility. In 2023, we'll finish one section. In 2026, there'll be other elements that will be completed. Now, going back to the south again, this is the biggest car park that will be built in the coming years. It'll be in Rodange, and it's quite interesting for cross-border workers who will be able to park in this car park and then take the train. There'll be 1,600 parking places. So there'll be 1,600 car parking spots in Rodange, and there will be additional rail services that will be reorganized, really, so that the flows are better. In fact, 2 of our lines do go through there, and it will also be possible to travel towards Esch and Pétange. Once again, the northern line, I'm jumping about a bit here, says the speaker, but it does show that there are projects that are pretty much mushrooming all over the place. Here, there's a large car park that's being built as well. About 400 car parking spaces, and that will be finished off next year. The work in the station, the platforms will be lengthened, which is quite a large task because extending the platforms allows us to have other vehicles, electric multiple units, for example. Hovald, this is a very exciting project because here we've got all of the different elements coming together, really. Trains meet trams. There is a bus station in Hovald as well. We've got soft mobility, which is an aspect that is also encouraged. So it's a very, very important hub. We've got Clochtor, Gasperich, and Hovald, and they will all benefit from that. And then there's going to be an additional platform with 2 tracks as well. And the lines arriving at Hovald will not cross over, so they won't get in each other's way. So that means that if there is a problem on one line, for example, then that won't have an impact on the other line. So it's a very, very exciting project in Hovald. That will be up and running in 2024. Now, in terms of the transition from car to train, that's essential. Three other examples. We've got the border of Wasserbillig. It's very important for people to be able to take the train quickly. Bacharach, Trois Vierges. And we've got relay car parks and spaces planned. So 389 for Trois Vierges, 370 in Wasserbillig, and 460 in Bacharach-Sanem. And over the next 5 years, there will be 50% more parking possibilities near stations, but that is not enough. This is something else that we've got ongoing at the moment. This will be taking place in parallel with all the building projects. I think it's quite interesting. We've got this for the representatives. It's very important for everybody to play their part in this. I would just like to perhaps talk about another thing at the moment. If we launch call for tender, we are not ordering for 400 million euros to have new material. The idea here is to create an integrated system. And there were 34 Coradia trains that were ordered to have comfortable and safe trains, and they will be delivered in 2022. That will allow us to replace our older equipment. Here we're talking about an increase of 46% on current capacity, and that is the most significant order that has ever been placed by CFL. Now, before looking at the video and our campaign, I just wanted to say another few things. We're not only a public service, we have our passenger service, but also a freight service. More than 1,200 people work in the freight part of CFL, and I wanted to just give you an example. This is a very green means of transport and very safe as well, as has been the case for a long time. We're specialised in terms of combined transport. We think this is really a vector for growth in our strategy. Here you can see regular lines from Bettemberg that fan out in all different directions. Bettemberg really is really the nucleus. If you look at the latest developments in Eurostock, 3 times a week a train goes from Bettemberg to Rostock, 800 kilometers, and this is more than 10,000 trucks that represents. So it's more than 10,000 trucks that are not needed on the roads because it's being transported by rail. So it's really quite impressive. It allows us to save 15,000 tons of CO2. Rostock is 3 times a week. Trieste the connections are a bit more regular. There's 12 times a week there. So it's very important to underscore these things here, especially when we're talking about the European Year of Rail. Now, in terms of growth, there will be more operators. As CFL, we are one operator. If there are any work sites or work on the line, we can't always develop our supply and move, but it's the same for others. You can see here that you've got the French and Belgian and other operators, the CFL Cargo, that uses these networks. These networks exist for all of the operators. When it comes to freight, you can see some figures on the screen. Things in the terminal, so handlings in the terminal, these are very significant. Since 2017, these figures have doubled. Now, that was just to give you a few more pieces of information to talk about the freight side of things, which is a major project on our network, And so why are we carrying out a campaign? Well, I already said this. For us, it will be a challenge. We are going to have to close certain sections of line, for example, in the coming months. There will be the Nordcap project, and we'll need to reorganize some of the tracks and the infrastructure there. So we do need to close certain sections. We will try to take into consideration things like school holidays, weekends, the summer holidays, for example, and we will try to use these periods as best possible in order to do the work then, so that we can speed up and be able to make sure that we can have a full service again. There will be bus replacements as well. That's one of our principles, to make sure that the connections are there. And we wanted to launch an important information campaign. I'm going to leave it at that, and I would like to show you the campaign that, in fact, is starting today. So this is the premiere.
1946 begleden wir Eistland op segem Wee. Wo Mënschen a Betrieber méi no bei nee bruecht, a Bewegung an eisem Land mat definiéiert. Zäiten ännere sech. An do mat d'Erwardungen an d'Usprech vun eise Klienten. Sech veränneren heescht, nei Herausforderungen unhuelen. Ze summen nei Weer goen, och wann es net einfach sinn. Sech selwer nei erfannen. Weiterentwickeln, verbessern. Wir Haut Weiche für Mobilität vom Mur zu stellen. Wir schaffen all da für die Mobilität, die ihr Leben vereinfacht. Ihr an der liebste Menü bei Nähe bringt und zuverlässig mit ihr Ehre Weg geht. Mehr Informationen zu den Arbeiten von der CFL auf www.infotravoscfl.lu. CFL.
Die 75, also.
So why 75? Well, because the CFL is celebrating its 75th anniversary this year, but I will not talk much about that. Let's talk about platforms 5 and 6. I will give the floor to Sandy. You can take over. Thank you very much, Mr. Wengler. We are standing here at platform 5. Laurent Pure is standing next to me. He is the project leader for this project. And Mr. Pure, maybe you can explain what we are seeing here. We were taking these pictures with a drone a couple of weeks ago. Yes, good afternoon. We are standing at platform 5. Here you can see platforms 5 and 6 as they are being built. You see how the construction work is going on. You just saw this temporary little passage. You see this the entire space of construction, really. And platform 5, where we are standing right now, has been in use for a while now. No? Yes, indeed, because We started this project in September 2018. We destroyed first the old CFL workshops, and we extended the underground terrains. They were stretched a little and made larger. They have the same architecture and look as the existing parts, and now we are going along with the works. It's a project that is going on fast. The construction work is going well, and we really hope that we will be able to finalize the work here at Platform 5 very soon. The idea is really to provide it in due time. But Platform 5 is not everything. We also have Platform 6. Yes, you can see it here right behind us. Platform 6 has been launched and started in February after we started with Platform 5. You can see that the details are being worked at right now, and it should be ready for December 21. But this is not where you will end, or? No, precisely. We will continue, it has already been mentioned, because yes, indeed, we do want to finalize these platforms in order to have 4 more platform uses at each site, but we want to go further. As of summer 2021, starting in July and reaching to September, we will have closure. We will close the North Cup of the train station. We will take away the rails on the north side because we want to restructure it. We want to rebuild it. We want future train lines to use this space through a corridor, and we want to merge the lines 10 and 60. This is what will happen this summer. And the next summer we will have the same project going on the south side. The idea is really to reinvent the entire system. And when all the systems have been rebuilt, everything should be more performant. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Once all this work has been finalized, this can be operational, can be in use, and the lines 10 and 60 can be merged, and this new concept can really launch. And the new train station will be accessible for everyone. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. It is wheelchair friendly. And this is also something that simply corresponds to this new railway system and philosophy that we want to implement. There will be a lift on every platform. On the north side, connecting Bonnevoie and Gare will be rebuilt. We want to replace this existing structure with only stairs, and we want to add lifts there. Thank you very much, Mr. Pure. So we just had a little insight and what's going on right now into the construction work. We will have a more performant train station in the future. Thank you very much. I give back to the studio. So this would be the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. I really hope that we were able to present a few new things to you. Do you have any questions? You can ask your questions in English as well. We are also available after the press conference should you have more specific questions? Are there any questions from the audience? All right, well, in that case, thank you very much and have a nice afternoon.